Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Mercury opposite to Mars in Synastry. This feisty aspect is pretty exciting for communication. You're definitely going to have a lot to say to each other with this opposition. It might even be like the most active of all of the Mercury Mars aspects where we're just like barking at each other. But it's interesting in the opposition energy, it brings up it. I feel that it's a little bit more easygoing than the other aspects of Mercury and Mars, although we do tend to be on pretty opposite ends of beliefs with this one, where we do challenge each other on purpose. We like to debate each other, and it can be very enlightening to have this opposition. So, what can happen though is that sometimes the Mars person will react to the Mercury person in a more overtly sexual way, because the Mars represents like the primal sexual energy, and then the Mars person will get all turned on, and then the Mercury person will um, go to their intellect or just start talking their ear off, and the Mars person can feel a little bit frustrated or like not seen by Mercury, like they're trying to like pounce on them. They're trying to like elicit a more sexual or physical response, and the Mercury person just keeps on talking and talking and talking. So that can happen with Mercury Mars aspects because Mars is such a sexual planet, and sometimes with this one, it's like Mercury can miss that is going on, or maybe Mercury's still got more to say, or they're just not getting it. They're not quite in the mood. But um, also, a manifestation of this can be that um, Mercury really wants to convince Mars of certain ideas and certain things. And Mercury really wants to share with Mars things that they found out. And oh, I just found this news article, and I've just read this book, and I just heard about this, and like they want to share it with Mars. But the way that they do so is like in a way that makes Mars stand on their toes, or like it gets really like defensive or even like aggressive. So we can see a bit of that where some overreacting to each other, some and it's like the funny part is like this isn't like Mercury Pluto. Like, we don't necessarily even care what we're talking about. It's nothing deep. It might not even be anything that important to us as far as what we value. But we still, with this aspect, have the impulse to, argue and debate and battle each other. But in a more like a lighthearted way, like we just want to let the other person know that we're right and they're wrong, but it's all, in a good-hearted place. But yeah, we can really want to stand our ground with this aspect and like elicit. Angry is maybe not the right word. It's maybe a bit too harsh, but like definitely when Mercury says something, it hits Mars like, you know, right at like a punch in the gut, and they're like, "Whoa, what did you just say? Like, let's talk about this." And so it's a very abrupt, kind of impulsive communication. You can look back on this relationship and be like, "Oh my God, like why did I say that?" Or like this person can really get you saying some things that are, as the Mars person, you'll be like, "Wow, like that came off really aggressive," or that definitely came off, stronger than I intended. And even Mercury can find that, like, why couldn't I let that idea go? Or why did I have to keep going on about that to this person? Like, why would I act like that? Like, it's almost like embarrassing. It's like when you look back, you're like, whoa, um, that was impulsive communication, right? That was very abrasive. And yeah, so it's not so much like we're going to end up resenting each other for things that have been said. It's usually like, it all comes to the surface. We have this argument or this fight, and then we go back to just talking about our day normally. Like, okay, well, anyway, so what do you think about that? That's going on today. And then you just go back to your dialogue. So there's definitely a lot of communication, definitely a lot of impulsive, feisty energy, even sexual communication, sexting. Mars is going to want to initiate that. That could be a theme with this, is like a kind of sexting energy. If Mercury finally picks it up, what they're putting down, that can be an energy of this. And it actually can lead to like a respect for the other person's mind, because with the opposition aspect, there's like the polarity, there's like two extremes, right? And the Mercury person can really end up respecting kind of where the Mars person is coming from, even though it's different than them. It also does kind of balance their mind. And then the Mars person can end up, Mars person might be last to do this, but the Mars person can end up appreciating the Mercury person's sort of unbiased look at things that maybe they're more reactive towards. So it can end up being very helpful for both people. It definitely gets communication rolling and going really fast and really easily. So there's like this level of impulsive communication that is there very quickly. Like, this is the kind of person you meet and you just start talking to, and it's very quick and it's very easy. And like I said, you're maybe going to look back and think, well, why did I say all that? I wish I didn't. And you have to look at the signs that this is taking place in too, because that's going to be like the extreme polarity that comes out. Like the Mercury person is going to become super Mercury and Aries, and the Mars person is going to become like supercharged Mars and Libra, if it's taking place in those signs. So yeah, it's definitely very interesting. It can be fun and it can be a good aspect to have if you're working together, because the energy is high, the mental energy is high, it's definitely a good combo for doing something, rather than just, sitting around arguing. It'd be better if there is an outlet, there is a project, or, something that we're conquering together. This can be really good too. Some type of working partnership. But even though it's a hard aspect, technically the opposition is a hard aspect. I think that this one probably works. It works better than the square is always going to be more butting heads than the opposition, but this one is even kind of more supercharged than the square. It's very active, very exciting communication. So I'd love to know what your experience of this aspect was. If you had it in Synastry, let me know in the comments. Was it good? Was it unbearable? Did you fight a lot? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Thanks for your requests, you guys. Keep them coming, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.